I'm Brent Haynes with Wood Sound Flutes, and today we are going to learn the Mode 5 scale. I know, you thought I was going to say Amazing Grace. Well, we are going to learn Amazing Grace as well, but the way that we're going to learn Amazing Grace is by mastering the Mode 5 scale. If you've mastered the Mode 5 scale, Amazing Grace is super easy to play. And so we're going to start with the Mode 5 scale, and then once you've got that mastered, move on to playing Amazing Grace, and you'll find that it will just fall right out of the flute for you. It will be super easy. The recording you just heard when I was playing the song was done with reverb on it. Reverb is really beautiful. We all love a little bit of reverb in our music. It blends the notes, it adds depth, and it just sounds really wonderful. However, as an instructional, it can be a little bit troublesome because it doesn't show you how the fingers are actually hitting the notes. If the reverb sustains a note a little bit longer, it may look like the fingers are not moving in time with the song. And so for that reason, we're not going to use any more reverb as I play the flute throughout this video. So the flute will sound a little bit different than it did in the first piece of Amazing Grace there. So the flute that we're going to learn the Mode 5 scale with is made out of Burmese rosewood. It's got some ebony on it and some gorgeous abalone inlay on it. I love this type of look. Just very simple and yet super classy and elegant. This Burmese rosewood has an amazing sound. I absolutely love it. Rosewoods in general I love. I was looking at a piece of Yucatan rosewood that I'm thinking about purchasing. It has little spots of burl here and there in it. And so hopefully going to be picking that piece of wood up and making it available. It looks a lot like the Burmese rosewood as well. They just have a lot of ring and a lot of projection to the flute. Okay, so the Mode 5 scale is very different from the pentatonic minor. Our pentatonic minor scale is this scale. That's your basic pentatonic minor scale. Now, there's other minor scales as well, or there's an addition to that minor scale. You can add a half note in, you can add a cross-fingered note in, and you can add a couple of notes above octave in. Those are great notes to use in the minor scale. That's not the Mode 5 scale, though. The Mode 5 is actually a major scale, but it does use a half whole. And so as we go up the Mode 5 scale, I want you to pay attention to places where you think you may need a little bit of extra practice to be able to do. Maybe the finger lifting is a little different than what you're used to, or a little awkward in managing it. And after I've played it, then we'll go through each piece by piece and look at the different parts of the Mode 5 scale. Once again. So that's the Mode 5 scale. Very different from what we're used to as a pentatonic minor. It has a happier sound. It has a little bit more cheerful sort of sound. There is additional notes above octave that we can get into. We'll teach you an additional note above octave. But first, let's go through the tricky parts of the Mode 5 scale. The very first one that you probably noticed is the half hole on the bottom note. Now, if you have already mastered my DVD, Journey with the Native Flute, then you have probably mastered using the half hole. However, it is a little bit different in the Mode 5 scale, and the reason for that, in a pentatonic minor, we move like this. So that note with the sixth finger open, or first finger, depending on how you look at it, open, that doesn't exist in the Mode 5 scale. The Mode 5 scale, we go fundamental note, half hole, two fingers open. And so this one finger open just doesn't exist. And so if you're used to practicing your half holing like this, which is what I taught on the DVD, then it could trip you up a little bit as you're learning to play the mode 5 scale. So in order to kind of master the mode 5 scale, what we'll do is simply once again, and you can even slow it way down. You slow it down as much as you need to in order for you to play it. What's important is that you play the notes at the same interval. So if you play the note long in one part, play the note long on all of them, and just keep that same interval as you're going. And then as you get better and better, just shorten up the interval or the length of the notes and speed up the song, the scale. Now I'll speed it up a little bit. And we'll speed it up again. And speed it up again. And that's how you go about mastering a particular part of a song. So the principle is this: as you're trying to learn to play some music, if you will take the most difficult part of the piece, and typically it's like 2 or 3 notes long that is giving you trouble, and if you just take that one simple little idea, like in this case it's moving from the fundamental note to the half whole to 2 open. That is what we're trying to learn how to do with this exercise. It's one idea, very simple idea, and we're just going to repeat it over and over again until we master it. And by doing so, you can really quickly learn to master different parts of the music. As we move up the scale in the mode 5, we go fundamental note, half whole, 2 fingers open, 3 fingers open, no difficulty there. But then we go to 4 fingers open. And how many times do you lift that 3rd finger? In the pentatonic minor scale, you don't. In the full minor scale, you do. But in the pentatonic minor scale, you just don't use that 3rd finger at all. And so we want to just practice that a little bit. It's a simple thing, lifting that finger. But if you're not used to it, it can trip you up a little bit. So to practice it, we'll just do this. And I can slow that way down if I need to. And do the same process of increasing the speed as I've mastered each different speed, just increasing the speed slowly as I go through it. So once you've mastered opening your 3rd finger down, and making that really easy to do, then we're going to move into the next most difficult thing. And so again, we go up the scale. We're going to go fundamental note, half whole note, 2 fingers open, 3 fingers open, 4 fingers open, and then we're going to make a jump. We're going to go from 4 fingers open to the 3rd finger down close and the top 2 fingers open. That's our octave note. And so making that jump from there to there, there to there, that is tricky. When you first are learning to do that on the flute, it is really tricky. There's one thing on the flute that I think is more difficult. We're not going to go into that on this video, but I do go into it on the Journey with the Native Flute. So to practice going from this position to this position, we just do it. We go. Now, one of the things that you may notice is that my breath is not continuous through that. If it is continuous, if I hold my breath with a constant pressure all the way through, it'll sound like this. And if my fingers are not timed exactly perfect, where I go from here to here at exactly, so these fingers lift at the same time that finger goes down, it's not going to sound right. Now you can do that. You can get to where your timing is so good that going from this position to this position and having that happen at exactly the same moment, going from here to here, can sound great. But we don't need to do that right now. What you can do instead is we're going to just stop our breath. We're not going to make a type of thing. Rather, we're going to go. So we're going to breathe and then just continue breathing when we play the note. So it'll sound like this. And then, as you get good at that, and that becomes kind of familiar, then work on using a continuous breath through it. It's very hard for me to do that slow. I was trying to do it slow so I could build it up. I actually have to do that fast in order for me to sound good. And so one of the exercises that I need to do over the next week is going from this position to this position very slow. Isn't that funny? Going slower is harder than going fast. That's sometimes the case with music. There are some things that are easier to do fast than they are to do slow. But if you want to be a really great musician, you want to be able to do things no matter what speed you're going, whether you're going fast or whether you're going slow. You want to be able to create that sound that you're looking to create. And so it's just a matter of playing that for a few minutes a day, every day, over the next week, and I'll have it mastered. It won't be ever a problem for me again. So we've mastered the Mode 5 scale. One of the things that you will have noticed as we've played the Mode 5 scale is that Amazing Grace may have popped out at you a couple of times. You may have, as you've been practicing over the last week, you may have heard Amazing Grace coming up out of the scale, because it really is just baked right in it. It's made out of that scale. And so what I'm going to do with this DVD, what I'm going to do with this video is include the tablature for Amazing Grace and also the tablature for the Mode 5 scale. I've been trying to record something that was just an ad lib, but frankly it just was too personal, and I didn't feel it was right for me to share. It's good. The flute is good. There's so much healing for ourselves that we can have with this instrument. The piece that I was going to play was something that I used to play on the Mode 5 a long time ago. It was about a mother and daughter and their relationship. And I would play the low notes would be the mother and the high notes would be the daughter. And at any rate, I played it actually 3 times, and it was very different each time. But it was really, for me, it was really good. I'm not sure it would be really good for you, but I know that it was for me. And that's what I hope. And your side of the camera, that's my fondest wish, my dearest, the wish of my heart, is that the flute allows you to create music that is for you. Music that reaches into your soul and into your heart, massages it, and helps it, so that when you go forward and interact with those that you love, you can do so in a really good way. I'm Brent Haynes with Wood Sound Flutes. If you have any questions about the Mode 5 scale, by all means get a hold of me at 801-822-1415, or give me a call at BRENT at woodsounds.com. That's correct. BRENT at woodsounds.com. Have a wonderful day.